I almost skipped this powerful kettlebell move because I thought it was unnecessary. It's too advanced, it's too technical, and not worth the hassle. But that was before I understood what it really does. And now things have changed. I believe the double half snatch is one of the most powerful exercises, period, that you can include into your daily routine. Welcome to a new world of muscle, power, and strength once you've unlocked this bad boy. And if you're over 40 and you want to become strong, fit, and lean without going to the gym, download my free ebook in the first link in the description. Good veteraan, Gregory van Lebe hier. When I quit my typical gym routine, I wasn't quite ready yet, even though things started to shift. You know, when you get a little bit older, recovery slows down a little bit. You feel some aches, some pains. Your joints are whispering a little bit, and you feel the wear and tear. That's one of the reasons why heavy barbell work just doesn't feel the same for me. I'm not saying that it is a bad thing, but I've realized that the kettlebell gives me more. And it gives me a couple of important aspects of physical performance and qualities that cover the blind spots that you will discover when you get a little bit older. Now, I'm not backing down fully on hypertrophy work. For example, with some solid push-ups, pull-ups, and dips, you can't go wrong. I still include them because these are exercises that have been around forever. But when you need something a little bit smarter and something that hits the spot and gets your most bang for your buck, I think the double half snatch is where it's at. It's not the full snatch. It is half. Why? Because the rack position allows you to rest a little bit. And I also think dropping 2 kettlebells from the top fixation down into the backswing might take a little bit of a beating towards my lower back, for one area of concern. And second, it just isn't the same feeling because I want to rest for a couple of seconds or maybe just 1 second in the rack position, then focus as I drop both kettlebells down because it is a highly complex exercise that requires your ultimate focus. And so adding 2 kettlebells in the mix, bam, you got a movement that hits every single muscle fiber in your body. Power, strength, conditioning, muscle building, explosiveness, grip, shoulder, core, legs, heart, upper body, everything's covered. This is part of a philosophy that I live, breathe, and teach that I consider hybrid style kettlebell training. We're combining sport lifts with grind style strength. Volume meets tension. Flow meets power. Efficiency meets muscle building. And at the core, this philosophy is called 2 bells overhead as well. This is from my friend Levi Marquardt, who coined this term, which seems to become a little bit of a movement. And if I look at it from the bird's eye perspective, it is that hybrid style philosophy at its core, and it's pretty well defined, which means putting 2 bells overhead with lots of tension using the sport lifts will grant you massive gains and benefits. And when you move, press, and stabilize and breathe with 2 heavy kettlebells overhead continuously, you change everything about your physique. And you have to watch out for your central nervous system. This is where your heart rate comes into play. Your central nervous system has to be recuperated to an extent where you can push more tension and pack more tension from your prime movers into these exercises so that we can spend more time on the tension. This doesn't mean that you have to be fully rested. When I get back to the bells, I always think, man, I wish I would have gotten a couple of more seconds of rest. That's not it. When my heart rate goes back from 170 or 180 down to 140 or 150, I still want to rest a little bit more. So you come back in, hitting the ground running, still wanting a little bit of rest, but your CNS is fully recuperated. This is where the magic is. And if you're wondering what type of kettlebell I'm using, it's the Pro Kettlebell, the best kettlebell on the market. Period. We are working hard to making it available in the EU, Switzerland, as well as the UK as soon as possible. We have a waiting list in the description where you can get notified once we open up shop. Check the link in the description to get 10% off your next purchase and use the code LEBESTARK at checkout. So the double half snatch is the bridge between aging gracefully and still keeping your strength and muscle. You have explosiveness from the swing and the pull. You get strength and structure in the rack, and also a valid position to recalibrate and rest for a couple of seconds. You have a controlled overhead lockout, which means your joints have to be fully extended. You go into full range of motion. Your ligaments, every single fiber, every single living fiber in your muscle, in and around it, has to work. And that is a beautiful, functional, and powerful finish. So let's break it down. You start with 2 kettlebells in front of you with 1/2 meter distance. You start by pulling them between your legs. It's called the backswing. Then you pull explosively, and with that pull you have to stomp your feet down, but since you cannot use the full leverage of a single snatch, you have to use a lot of pulling power. So this is how you guide the bells up, and then you drop under them in a second dip, and you catch them in that overhead top fixation. This is where you rest for a second or two. This is what we call pacing. Then you catch those bells as you drop them down into the rack. You breathe, pause, rest, recalibrate, and then you go right back into it. It's not just about throwing weights overhead. It's about controlled aggression, intentional movement, power, but precision. And I remember the first time I tried this move with double 24s, and I was immediately humbled. I realized, whoa, this is really elevating my levels and fitness of performance, but it also illuminates some blind spots. And the next day, I felt it in my full body. But here's the beautiful thing about kettlebell training. The load always distributes over your whole body. Every muscle fiber, every joint, everything is included. You have to be fully coordinated to do this exercise. And you know what that kind of muscle soreness the next day is telling me? Bro, you did some real work. And after including the double half snatch into my training twice a week, I saw crazy changes. My back was thicker, my shoulders are rounder, my cardio is climbing without some extra running, and best of all, my joints feel awesome, strong, and stable. And that's not the norm when you're over 40, as your body is telling you that all the wear and tear that you used to do back in your early days is now maybe catching up to you to a certain extent. We can still do something about it. I'm not telling you that life is over after 40, but we have to train a little bit smarter now. So it's not just me. We have our clients as well who experience great benefits with this powerful exercise. However, we have to be careful. We have to always use the minimum effective dose. And that's why I extrapolate these findings towards you who are watching this video right now. The minimum effective dose with a double half snatch means start light first and start with a low amount of reps. The outcome and the result of a powerful exercise like this is great. It's awesome. It's combining Olympic weightlifting with kettlebell training. So you're not a bodybuilder, we're not powerlifters, we are complete humans who are able to do some work. Now, if you want to try the double half snatch, here's what you have to watch out for. When you pull both kettlebells between the legs, tighten your abdominal wall. We want to protect that spine and that lower back. When you pull the bells up, you push the floor down and still have to do a lot of pulling. You really have to engage your shoulders, pull from the arms, and make sure you use an explosive, powerful element. When the bell drops down into the rack position as well as overhead and the top fixation, use it as rest. Pace yourself, don't overdo it. Never rush an exercise like this. It takes time to build up, but once you're there, powerful and great benefits and gains are waiting for you. Man, and I almost skipped this movement because I thought, oh no, it's dangerous, it's not healthy, it's too hard, it's too much. No. When you are conditioned to handle certain loads, if you have the structural integrity, you can do almost everything. So I thought this exercise wasn't for me, but I was wrong. The double half snatch changed my workouts, changed my physique, and now I have fallen in love with this exercise, and I want you to fall in love with it too. Grab 2 bells, try it for yourself, and when you feel that first full body wave hit you, you will understand what I'm talking about. So here's the next thing that you have to do. Clean and press that like and subscribe button. Share with a friend who's also interested in kettlebells. And if you made it this far, download my free ebook in the first link in the description called the Kettlebell Code. If you're over 40, 50, or 60, you don't have a lot of time, but you still want to take care of your fitness, this is where the kettlebell comes in, and I'm going to give you a shortcut to success. So what are you waiting for? Download that ebook right now in the first link in the description or in the pinned comment.